Hi guys, it's Wolverine here, guys. It is Thursday, guys. I just got home right now, guys. Guys, things are happening, right? Things are definitely happening, right? It looks like it has commenced. It has commenced. It is at a global level, right? These are for the bondholders. We're just waiting for the notifications to come through, guys. This has been confirmed, all right? So I'm praying that tomorrow, with God's grace, hopefully we'll get those notifications for the 4B so we can celebrate. It's definitely happening, guys. All right. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye-bye.
This is proving the Iraqi national security strategy to 2030. Some of the news we're getting out of Iraq. I wanted to hit all of this first. There's not a huge amount, so it's not going to take long to get to what you guys want to hear. We're just going to roll through it the way I've got it laid out. This includes both domestic security, international security, meeting with the UN. This takes into account the new extended time with UN separate from, with U.S. forces separate from UN appointment, just their overall security, their plans, militarily, etc., all approved. Makes them awfully happy over at the UN to get those things done. I thought that one was just a great one because they're giving us the long term. And a lot of this is about long-term stability so that they can change the value. I mentioned this story yesterday evening and again this morning, but I did not share it. So this one is just for me to add so you guys can see it. The digital transformation, Iraqi customs, 93% success in automation project. And the single window system is next. In other words, they are meeting international requirements, international standards. This was another thing that was in the white paper reforms. I just wanted to include the article because I had a couple people ask me questions. So I just want them to have it. If you guys want to do your research, it is there. And we really do, folks. We have a lot of people that read them, study them, becoming, in my opinion, as close as you're going to get to an expert at this level. Trump to strengthen ties with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and United Arab Emirates and visit next month. He's going to be there middle of May. What a nice time to stop by Iraq for the victory party or the after party, right? That's going to be my take. He's going to be visiting the Gulf countries between May 13th and May 16th. It would be a fantastic time after we've all been to the bank to announce to the world. I just thought that one was awfully interesting. We got one or two other things I want to touch on, and then we're going to go through some of the rumors that are floating around and some of the comments. I have to be kind of careful on what I say on a few of them. Number of people have landed this into my inbox. It is important. Why is it important? Huntington Bank in Michigan now accepts the Iraqi dinar, the Indonesian rupiah, and the Vietnamese dong. I'm getting that from more and more banks. No, you can't. Well, yeah, I shouldn't say that. Many of them are already accepting them. They're not accepting them at an increased value. So guys, this doesn't fix your problems unless your problems are 20 or 30 bucks. Why would they set up that mechanism to deal with these currencies if they weren't going to deal with the currencies? I made this comment this morning. Here we actually have the post in front of us. But I wanted to talk about the why it is important. You have to be able to process it. This means they can go ahead and train employees. The system has it. It's plugged in. They can verify it. This is very important. The only difference will be once the value changes, you get a lot more for it when you exchange it and it goes into your bank account. So this, to me, is a great sign. There is no reason for them to accept those when they are not even part of their business. I mean, they're accepting these currencies before they're accepting other currencies. British pounds, euros, stuff like that. Of course, I don't know how many of those they already take, but I'm guessing none. So this one is the system preparing, and I'm getting that out of many, many banks. If I listen to my banks right now, my bankers, they keep, since probably Sunday or so is when they lit up and said over the next 1 to 2 weeks, you'll be complete. Makes me feel good. It's warm and fuzzy. Now we need to see it. I've not shared a lot of those because I don't want to get you unnecessarily excited, but I am getting that. On the bond side, I'm being told final contracts. A couple people have them, and they plan on initiating wires soon. And under that system, it still takes a couple of days for that money to be fully spendable. But I am hearing very positive things. If that timing holds out, yeah, it's very possible that the banks are right, because bond people would be enough of them done by, probably with money that they can spend in their pockets, enough of them in that position, probably early next week. So then, yeah, why not? Let's move on some currency. The news has been awesome. Don't quit your day job. You gotta stay protected through this process. I guess that's I'm afraid to tell folks just how good the news is, because I'm afraid people will go do stupid things, and then there will be a delay. Something will cost it, and then they won't be prepared for life. I'm having a tough time balancing that one right now, guys. Let's see. Snake posted this afternoon on YouTube that got taken down immediately. It said HSBC and Wells Fargo had been given an update on AQD and we're told to expect RV in next week or two. He's not the only person hearing that one right now. We're getting inundated. I am just cautioning you to be calm as we get through this. Yeah, what could go, Jimmy? Yeah. Yeah, I was afraid if you would call the banks. Yeah, he's not the only one getting that news. I'm getting that news from a lot of people, so I'm not surprised he's getting that news. Jeanette, I've had Huntington Bank for years. Very nice people. I used to work with them some too. Business I had, they were the closest bank. All right, folks, let me keep running. Secret I'm laughing at a few of these. I've not heard any updates on the Yellow Dragon bonds specifically, Janine. What Joe say? Lots of rumors of optioned exchange strategies being offered to redemption centers for full payouts to long-term higher rate. I have not heard that from any of my contacts, Joe. I will ask them. I wouldn't be surprised if that was offered by some of the banks. I wouldn't be surprised if they offered some type of structured or platform type deal where it pays over time. It would be a neat way to do it for folks. Just keep being told that, I'm sorry, Kat just diverted me. She's too much. I just keep being told that all bonds are in preparation or final contract. Some of them, I'm told, have already gone to that point and they are starting or initiating the payment process.
News updates. Well, guys, once again, we shouldn't be here. We should be at the redemption centers or the banks exchanging our currencies today. It was supposed to happen last night. Everybody thought it would. Everybody I talked to swore up and down it's done. We know everything is done. Everything is complete yet. We don't know what stopped it. People speculating, Trump's playing games with it to try to get better deals out of some other countries, all that sort of stuff. We don't know what the reality is of that. We don't honestly know what's going on behind the scenes. We just know that everything is ready. Everyone is prepared. And, when people like TNT Tony tell you that the banks have been told to get ready and they have people in and they're waiting, that's all true. It's all true. And we know there's bond people that have been paid. We know there's bond people that have got private contracts now that didn't have them before, that they wouldn't be getting if the money wasn't there to back their commissions. So we still have no idea, really. At this point, I have to say we don't have any idea what's happening. People are talking about, Iraq has to do this week. They have to because of the penalties. Nobody cares about the penalties. Iraq has done their stuff. They're sitting there waiting, and they don't know why it hasn't gone because they're ready for it to go as well because they need the money. So we're in a situation now where I have no news to report other than the same thing I told you on Monday and the same thing I've been telling you for weeks, which is that it's ready to go. And for some reason, it's not going. Jen, you got anything new that you want to add to Monday's Gentel, or you have that smirk on your face like you know something? What do you got going, Jen?
I don't have I don't have Gentel.
Oh,
but,
so you want to turn
I asked
Gentel
this
on?
morning.
Yeah.
And what I've got matches up with what I've heard. It's all ready. Launch within 72 hours. The trust Gentel was true. Stand by.
Okay.
It's all ready.
So Jen's telling you the same thing I'm telling you. That's it. That, it's ready. So stand by.
Yeah, without the negative opinion.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know what you heard, but what I heard was pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, I heard, 24 to 48 hours again, but I've heard it so many times that I'm cynical about it. So I'm cynical. I'm just cynical. And we've heard from some of our friends that have been saying nice things, and we're all hoping that this gets done. Now, I have been told before, we'll remind you, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday are not good days for this to go. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are the best days for this to go. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not so much. But
I think Friday's a great day for this to go.
Let's buck this trend and get it going.
Everything's still good. They was better than good, I'm gonna say. They tried to do it last night, so I'm giving you guys an update right now. They tried to do it last night. All but a few countries went through. They had some issues. And they said when it gets resolved today, they will do it today. Now, here's the good part. Everybody can clap about and be in agreement and be happy about. What I'm hearing is, I don't know if I told you guys Monday or not, but anyway, they had the satellite reserved. So they didn't have to wait and see if they could squeeze it in. They had it reserved to run everything through, which they did. They still have it reserved. So when whatever the technical issue is completed, they said they're going to run it through. It was just a few countries. I'm going to tell you how many, but I don't want to steal 404's thunder because that's going to be her main question. Well, how many? When, where, how? So we'll wait for her to answer that. But supposedly today, the good point is they're all happy and giddy because they're saying Trump now wants this to happen. He wants it to happen, not letting it happen. He wants it to happen with very good reason for what we're seeing. Approval rating is down as far as the economy. This is going to help bring it back. The countries are all skittish because of what's going on the markets. His announcement today that he was going to renegotiate the tariffs, even with China, has everything going up. He got a briefing from the CEOs of Walmart, Target, Home Depot, on and they all told him that keep doing what he's doing. He can expect some empty shelves by summer. And it really wasn't going to go well. So that was yesterday's meeting. So today they're making some different announcements today. The market is all green. It's going up. But even Tesla itself is still 71% down. So you guys see Elon is stepping away. Well, that's the reason. So he needs to go back to his job because it's affecting his company, his wealth, and all decisions. And he has announced that he is against the tariffs now. But it's not his choice, but he's against them. Okay? So everybody's trying to back out, change their mind. Say, wait a minute, we moved too fast. Something everybody was saying in the beginning. But let me say this, before we can get away from it. I still believe in what was being done. I just think it was done the wrong way. And now a whole bunch of people are agreeing. Okay. The premise was correct. It was done in the wrong way. That is the tariffs. Same thing with the border. Because I know some of you guys mad because I agree we have a border issue, but we have a border issue. Needs to be fixed. And actually there's a whole lot of improvement on it. So, we're going to see what happens at the end of the 90 days. Supposedly everything's going to be renegotiated, but everybody wants to negotiate, which I've got to agree for years we have been taken advantage of as far as that goes. All right? But the good stuff is what we care about. We had some of our people, let me see, are they here? So they can tell you. or at least one of them is here, that had bank appointments for today. They did receive the text, the email. As a matter of fact, one of them went to the bank this morning and did just the opposite of what I always tell you guys. He got into an argument at the bank, with the bank, about why they wasn't paying him when they sent him the email. Sent him the text. He even took a copy of it to the bank. And they said, oops, sorry, you wasn't supposed to get that. So he was escorted out the bank. But he was mad about it. So him along with our favorite guy here who'll be up, sent me some texts or emails about their experience yesterday. And like a lot of you guys probably still like me was riding the roller coaster. And I got to tell you the truth. At this point in time, when I see people like him, and he knows I told him I laughed when I was reading it. I laughed. Like when a guy this morning called me, got thrown, I laughed at him. And I was just saying, but okay, I told you don't do that. Or I was saying, okay, but that's the roller coaster I ride every day. And I try not to get you to do that, but you do. So at this point, I can't get mad at anybody. You can't get mad at the banks because they're on a yo-yo that you would not believe. There's memos every other day, sometimes twice a day. Get ready, don't get ready. We're doing it, we're not doing it. Both cases. And I think that's what frustrated both of these guys. Is the bank said, yeah, come do it. And they got there and said, we're not even going to do that. So I don't know why you got that. Well, what bank is not going to do it yet? They have that built into their system already, but they're not going to do it. And when the guy at the bank said, oh, you weren't supposed to get that. Well, why did you even make it up if you're not ever going to do it? So those things just don't make sense. But at the moment, I know our guys get frustrated. So, in Iraq, he did say this morning that they were getting the Lords in Arms out of the ATM today. They're still getting it. He didn't have the final rate yet, but he said they're passing out. They're flooding the streets with them so that they are ready. Okay? I mean, they're actually using them, but I don't know what the final rate is, so he didn't give me that. That's the two things they didn't want to go out of the country at the moment was the rate and pictures of the Lords in Arms. And since he is a authority figure, I guess he's not going to do that. All right. So, just for right this moment, before anything else, I need to see 404. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I would like you to answer how many countries we're talking about. Because with all of the other callers that you have, they're going to ask that same question as well. So I'll ask that one. So if you would be able to answer that without getting yourself or any of us in trouble, that would be curious. And I do have some other questions, but I'll wait until later. Appreciate it. So
I'll actually, I was going to answer that question, but I wonder would it get me in trouble? I wonder would I have too much information that they would know? I know the exact number of countries. You made me think about that. I wasn't thinking about that before I said it. But you said before I get in trouble. I was thinking.
Be quiet. The four-letter word is punished. I will not give you a clear line.
I'm going to say this. So it's less than 5 countries. So there's 44 countries right now who had signed off on it. I can tell you that part. Or I'll say 45. And it's less than 5 that didn't go through that will today, is what I'm being told. And they still have full control of the satellite, so they are able to do it. That's what I was told. They don't have to wait for a time or anything else or see if they can fit in the schedule. They have a satellite that has been assigned to them for this purpose. So we'll see what happens.
G'day viewers, I'm Adam Stokes. Welcome back to the channel. As we prepare for the Australian election upcoming, we can see that there's a lot of mainstream media around the two main parties, but what I'm trying to achieve here is give you an insight into other candidates that are running beyond the mainstream's representation of the choices that we have available. I recently interviewed Senator Rennick and that video did very well, and there's many new subs here who want to hear the other side. There has been an absolutely overwhelming appeal to have Dr. Andy Schmillo on the channel, and he joins us today. Andy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Adam, and a very warm hello to your subscribers.
Andy, I'll get straight into it. Who's in charge in Australia?
Well, I'll tell you who's not in charge. We the people. We are not in charge. The people in charge of Australia, it depends on the issue. If it comes to the cost of living crisis and the price of groceries, then Coles and Woolworths are in charge. If it comes to the profitability of the big four banks and their ability to continue committing criminal acts and engaging in criminal conduct 6 years after the Hayne Royal Commission, 6 years after the Banking Royal Commission, then the banks are in charge. If it comes to running the public service, then PwC, KPMG, Ernst & Young, and Deloitte are in charge. And what this boils down to, and this is part of the reason why I'm running, our political system no longer functions. It no longer functions because the two major parties, the Liberal Party and the Labour Party, or as I like to call them, the Liberal Party and the Diet Liberal Party, fewer calories, same great liberal taste, are bought by and sold to big corporate donors. Big corporations have donated about $260 million to the two major parties in the last 10 years. And they can't fight an election, and they can't fight one another without those party political donations. If they upset their party political donors, then the donors will stop donating to their party, but continue donating to the other party, then they'll lose the election, right? I'm standing for election for the Citizens Party. We're not a wealthy party, we're a small party. We never have and we never will take corporate donations, and we don't have millions of dollars to splash around. So I'm looking at what the other parties are doing. Clive Palmer's party, for example, putting up massive billboards. We don't have that kind of money. If you're in the Liberal Party or the Labour Party and you want to put up billboards, or you want to put up call flutes, or you want to provide incentives to your volunteers, or you want to do text message send outs, all of that stuff costs money. Where does the money come from? Coles and Woolworths, Commonwealth, NAB, Westpac and ANZ, plus, of course, even more from the Australian Banking Association and the Financial Services Council, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, mining companies, pokey operators. So if you're in one of those 5 sacred categories, then you get a free pass on whatever you do, and neither of the major parties will touch you. Oh, and I forgot very importantly, Qantas, right? We have officially a duopoly in our airline industry. In effect, it's actually more a monopoly with one company, the Qantas Jetstar Group. That's why we pay $1,000 to fly from Melbourne or Sydney to Perth. But in America, you can fly from one side of the country to the other side of the country for $200. That's why we pay $1,000 more for flights to Europe, because our politicians are bought off by Coles and Woolworths, Qantas, the banks, the big consulting companies, the miners, and the pokey operators. And, you know, Adam, what makes it even worse, we hear that we're in a cost of living crisis. To use the word crisis gives the impression that it's a short-term thing, that it's a thing that's happening at the moment. It's not happening at the moment, mate. It's been going on for years, getting worse for years. And I'll tell you what, it's going to not get better, it's going to get even worse, because there are no fixes that are being put in place. And do you know, the Productivity Commission said in a report that was released a month ago, our supermarkets are now the most profitable supermarkets in the world. And they also said that from COVID onwards, our supermarkets have been increasing the margins, their profitability margins. So when Coles and Woolworths turn around and say it's not our fault, it's the fault of the suppliers, that's a lie. It's not the fault of the suppliers. Coles and Woolworths are gouging Australian consumers. Now, I've said this many times, I've said this in many fora, and people have shot back at me and said, yeah, but you can go and shop at Aldi, or you can go to your local butcher, or you can go to small independents. Small independents don't have the capacity, and your local butcher doesn't have the capacity to match the amount of consumption that is needed, the amount of consumption, the consumption needs that need to be met. The only companies that have that capacity are Coles and Woolworths. And because they have that capacity, they set the prices that everybody else in the industry in one way or another will follow.
Hey guys, there's something really phenomenal happening. Listen up. Klaus Schwab has resigned from the World Economic Forum, you know that. But what most of you don't know is that he's now being accused by no one less than Reuters. Reuters is the #1 authority of the lamestream lying news media of the satanic elites worldwide. The fact that they are publishing reports about Klaus Schwab that are exposing him as a liar, as a fraud, as a swindler, as a tyrant is indescribable. Reuters provides the news for all news outlets around the world. And indeed, I'm from the Netherlands originally. I see in the Netherlands right away the #1 leading newspapers are publishing negative reports about Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, saying that they are out of touch with the real people in the world. This is incredible. This means the following. It means literally that I call them the white hats, that the good powers in the world have taken control over the mainstream news media. I don't know to what degree, but fact is, they would never, ever publish anything negative about Klaus Schwab if they were still totally free. They always praised, promoted him because he's essentially their boss. He's essentially, at a very high level of the hierarchy. So guys, there is a shift happening in the world. If Reuters and the lamestream lying news media are beginning to expose their own puppet masters as criminals, then you know that the narrative is being shifted. There's something very powerful happening in the world. Then something else that is really very powerful is that the successor of Klaus Schwab is this CEO of Nestle, who is poisoning hundreds of millions of people around the world with very unhealthy drinks. He literally says that the regular people, that just regular folks, have no right. It's not a human right to have water, for bathing or for your swimming pool, or, he's making statements that are going to outrage humanity. So the fact that they are putting him in place of Klaus Schwab, a guy who's making such crazy statements, I believe the World Economic Forum is going down the drain. They're being exposed, they're being destroyed, they won't last longer. The World Health Organization, the same. 190 nations in the world have signed the pandemic treaty, but 5 did not. Who are the 5? India, Brazil, America, Russia, and China, the 5 biggest nations in the whole wide world. This means that the World Health Organization has lost its power. It is no longer able to dictate tyranny around the whole world. We are literally seeing the downfall of the very organizations that were created to submit humanity to satanic tyranny. We are observing something so epic, we don't understand how phenomenal this is. And this is only just the beginning. Follow me here on X to learn more.
Breaking. WHO announces major overhaul, layoffs amid US funding cuts. And this was forwarded from Inside Paper. This is the best news ever. We will soon see a shift. 1. The Pope is gone. 2. Klaus Schwab resigned. Well, if you know about central casting, truths will be revealed in time. Best news ever. Majeed posted on X. This was shared on the Chosen Ones channel on Telegram. Tomorrow, SEC drop XRP case in the Sunshine Act meeting by the latest 6 p.m. Eastern, which will cause the flip to the new financial system. It will be 1 a.m. Friday morning in the Middle East. Friday morning in the Middle East. People can exchange their notes. Oh, let's just cross our fingers and pray this is the case. This is true. JR, the admin for the Chosen Ones Telegram, shared this on the Chosen Ones Telegram. By New Earth Rising, free energy coming. HRMQR Royal Decree, hope you are ready for what's coming. Canadian nationals are now shareholders. Free energy worldwide. We had all of this before the corrupt government stole it and turned it into a money-making huge business and charged us for it stealing our money. Anything that comes from earth, water, electricity, gas, oil, always belong to we the people. Our new world is just around the corner. Money isn't everything. It's about our peace, our freedoms, about having an amazing future that is finally possibly for us and our families and friends. Thank God for our military that have got us here today. Latest. Melania's 55th birthday Saturday. 5 out of 5 equals loud and clear. Happy birthday, Melania. You deserve people who listen to you ramble. You deserve people who love it when you're excited, when you're happy. You deserve people who check up on you and wish to see you well. People who not only accept you for who you are, but rejoice in it.